Hey, what's up, you all? Welcome back. I am Van, and we are all the LFR family. Thank you so much for clicking play. Hopefully, you click the like button as well. Clicking the like button is the only price of admission for my live streams. And if you do that, I just want to say thank you in advance. Also, if you're feeling extremely generous, if you could share this video on Facebook, X, Reddit, LinkedIn, wherever you want to share this, it will be absolutely appreciated. Just want to say that. All right, so the run of this live stream will be first, we're going to hear from Vivek Ramaswamy on how he believed the debate went, and how Joe Biden's situation is at this moment. What's going on, Jared? And he's also going to talk about how he believes Trump performed in the debate, and also then we're going to go over to CNN. You know, I like to check out both sides on this channel and listen to them in fear. They are in fear right now. They are panicking because they realize that they put their bets behind the wrong horse, and I believe it's all a play. I believe they knew all along, and it's just a cover up. I think the cover up is the spin is in right now. And then once we check out some Vivek, and then we check out some CNN breaking down the new polls of all the people who support their favorite candidate, we're going to do some lefties losing it, because I like to laugh and have a good time on this channel. Y'all already know, although we do politics often, I like to have a good time. So I first want to say hello to everyone. Thank you so much for all of the birthday wishes for both my son, Van Jr., who just turned 25, and for my wife, who just turned 29 again yesterday. So thank you so much for the birthday wishes. Also, Lisa Marie, thank you for all of the love that you always show, and for modding the channel, and for all of the information you always send me. You're absolutely phenomenal. Without further wait, let's go ahead and get into it. Don't forget, hit that like button, guys. That's the only price of admission for my live streams. And also share this video if you're feeling a little extra generous, okay? Okay, let's get into it. Shay Brown, what's going on, Shay Brown? All right, let's get it popping, guys. We're not gonna wait. Let's do it. Vivek is up first.
All right, so what are Democrats going to do? Will Joe Biden actually become his party's nominee? There are some doubts, by the way, coming inside the Democratic Party tonight. Anyway, joining us now with reaction, former 2024 Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy and North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. Both names have come up as potential VPs. Yours more than his. Sorry.
Yeah, well,
you're younger. You got more time. Let's get your reaction. I want two reactions, though. The first reaction I want is, what did you think of Donald Trump's performance versus Joe Biden? I don't want this to just be about, well, Joe Biden mumbles, bumbles, and stumbles, because he does every day.
Well, the reality is, I mean, the discussion beforehand is, were they going to drug him up? I think they gave him a lobotomy instead. And as an American, just take the actual Republican Democrat nature out of this. This is frightening. As a citizen of the United States of America, this is the man responsible for defending our homeland when we're facing the greatest national security threats we've faced in our history. That's downright frightening regardless of the debate. So did Donald Trump mop the floor tonight? Absolutely he did. I think he delivered one of the best debate performances we've seen in modern history.
Separate and apart from Joe,
yes,
his debate performance stood apart from many that I've seen over the years that I've watched. I've been addicted to politics since Ronald Reagan was president. What was your take, Governor?
Well, I'll take a different tact on this, agreeing with everything that you said in the previous section. Vivek and I got to sit together and watch it. But if you're a business person and you're watching this, there was no answer from Joe Biden about inflation. There was no about energy policy. There was nothing about high interest rates. All he talked about was, I'm going to keep taxing the rich. And when he talked about a solution, everything was him spending money. So this is a 50-year-old Democrat plan, tax, spend, and they think that's their way to a solution. And what you said earlier, Sean, is the thing that I think scares every American, is that, Putin was watching this. China was watching. I mean, China, what they're doing in the Philippines last week and what they may do now, when they see that kind of weakness on our stage, it is, as Vivek says, it is frightening.
It's kind of chilling, because we were told last week, weren't we, that, these are great fake videos, as if attacking the work that I do every night, because we did not edit. This is unedited. This was real-time tape. You know, Barack Obama did go over, grab his hand, put his arm around him, and walk him off the stage. We did see him walk away at the G7. These are real moments where he has, call it whatever you, brain lapses, whatever you want to call it. And, you know, for the biggest period of time, we're 130 days out of this election, the media mob in this room lied to the American people. The Democratic Party lied to the American people, and they've been trying to hide this for the entire time. Now, all of a sudden, they're in a panic because they see Donald Trump had a great night and that their candidate did not. And now, oh, well, maybe we made a mistake. Sorry, you know, everybody with eyes to see saw this.
Joe Biden also lied to the American people back 4 years ago in the 2020 debate. And if you're CNN and you're hosting this, the one question they should have asked is, why did you look into the camera 4 years ago and lie to the American public about Hunter Biden's laptop?
He lied about the laptop. The 51 people were organized by Wink and Tony Blinken. They did it to basically influence an election. Polls show that it had an effect on the outcome of that election. He also lied about never speaking to his son or brother or anybody. His own son says he's the big guy. His own son says that he gave half his income to his pops and paid his home repair bills.
So you're absolutely right. If you look at the polling of independents after the 2020 election, many of them said they would have changed their vote had they known about the Hunter Biden laptop. But I'm worried this time around, Sean, we would be at risk of seeing that on steroids. Because imagine this scenario. Imagine a scenario where Biden won narrowly after he goes on that stage and calls Trump a convicted felon, which is the stated strategy of the Democrats right now. Yeah. Then the Supreme Court overturns the conviction in New York, which I expect is going to happen. What is that going to do to the future of the actual health of democracy in this country? And I think President Trump's best moments tonight were when he really came through the camera and authentically landed things that were just true. The fact that he doesn't have to be doing this. I thought his admission of that, the fact that I would not be running for president if you had done a good job, that I was rooting for you to do a good job.
By the way, wasn't that a pretty good moment? I thought that was one of his best moments.
I thought it was the best moment. The combination of that honesty.
I don't know about that or the golf part.
The golf part, especially when he got them out of the he said, let's not be childish anymore.
Yeah.
But the part where Trump looked through the camera and says, I don't want to be doing this. I wanted you to be a good president. The contrast between that and I think Biden's inherent absence of presence, that I think will bring a lot of independent voters over the night.
Let me ask you both. If you're asked, and this is a quick exit question, if you're asked, would you accept the VP spot?
I think anybody has duty to this country to say yes, and I think President Trump's
I would say no, but go ahead. By the way, not that there's ever a chance in hell. I could not vet as well as you. Go ahead.
Well, a lot of great choices.
Say, you know, tonight, that's an interesting question. Tonight's all about Donald Trump, his fantastic performance. You look around this arena tonight, there's a
dozen. He said yes, and you're dodging.
There's a dozen
You dodged the last time. You ducked the last time.
The real VP question is Joe Biden's VP pick 4 years ago.
I think it's got to be who Donald Trump's most comfortable with. I think that's the answer. Yeah. Thank you both. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to follow.
All right, so I tried to click it. I tried to stop it. I'll say, so there you have Vivek Ramaswamy. Now, I do understand that a lot of you have lost faith in Vivek. I don't know why. I still think that he's the man. I think he's an absolutely phenomenal guy. But you have more information about him that I do not. They saw the debate from the lens of someone who was listening to substance, who was looking at strength, and who saw the weakness in our current president. And they also picked out the fact that Trump did say that I wouldn't even be running for president right now if you weren't doing such a horrible job. I actually want this country to do better all over the world, for the world stage and domestic as well, just on our own land. Okay. And Lisa Marie, I do have your video. I'm sending it to myself via email right now, so I can go ahead and check it out. So that right there was necessary to watch because our president, I actually wanted him. I know you guys say he's not my president. Well, he's the president of the United States. And the moves that he make does fall on us. How other world leaders look at us is dependent upon the decisions that Joe Biden make and have made. All right. I actually wanted him to do well. Obviously, I wanted him to do well because I voted for him. I know you're not checking out. I don't know how many other conservative channels you check out that actually voted for Biden. I did vote for Biden. I voted for everybody blue, but I've been registered as a Republican, as a Trojan horse Republican for a long time because I always voted blue, no matter who. That was ingrained in me ever since I was a really young guy. And growing up, growing up in Washington D.C. So right now, that's not happening. Ain't no more blue, no matter who. And I'm actually trying to get that across to a lot of people that I know, friends, relatives, everybody, because at some point we need to move away from just colorism, move away from race, move away from just being stubborn and believing that because the government want to give us, give us, give us, that they're actually helping us. When in actuality, they've been hurting us for a long time. And hopefully, by me waking up, I can wake other people up as well with the truth. There's no pander in my game. When I see both Trump and Biden on the stage talking about everything that they want to do for Black people, that's cringe to me because I believe that Black people can do for ourselves. I believe that we have all of the resources, we have everything we need to do great in this country. That's that's what makes this country a wonderful country to be in. If you compare with any other country, we are still ahead of them in all categories. Yeah, you can probably pick out one or two things, or they're nicer there. That's it. That's it. But when it comes to our economy, when it comes to our freedoms, our liberties, and everything, bro, we are far surpassing any other country out there. So I wouldn't rather be anywhere but here. I'll go there to visit the same way you guys do for probably like a week, stay on a resort, sip some margaritas on the beach. I mean, get on an ATV, a four-wheeler or something, and take some selfies. But then I'm getting on a plane and getting right back here because I don't want to be any of those places. But it's kind of embarrassing. It's not kind of embarrassing. It's hella embarrassing to see the president of your country on stage. He's supposed to look strong. He's supposed to sound like he know what the hell he's talking about. But the entire time he's pulling at his ear. I don't know if they were feeding him lines through his ear. He couldn't even do that properly. He couldn't get off of 2 steps by himself without his wife helping him out. And he was still taking forever to do that. And then his wife has to talk to him like a damn toddler to keep him encouraged. You did so great. You answered all the questions. Didn't he, boys and girls? You get some fruit snacks. You get a gold sticker. Here, take this gold sticker. I love how you handle yourself up there. Didn't he do great, guys? And he didn't go pee-pee on himself. It was so awesome. Yay. Like, that is embarrassing. Don't nobody want to see that mess, man. He's supposed to be the coach of our great team. He's supposed to be the president and the leader of our country. Don't nobody want to see that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I voted for him because blue, no matter who, is actually a thing. Just like red, no matter what, is actually a thing. You know what I mean? So, but that ain't happening no damn more. Not at all. Lisa Marie, I am going to check out that video that you sent to me. I'm sending it to myself right now so that I can check it out. And I really appreciate you giving it to me. All right, so let's move on to our next one where we actually see the polls, the new polls that was posted on CNN. And CNN leans left. And I mean, not lean left, they far left. CNN is far left, propaganda left. They want to feed the propaganda to the people to be able to get us to vote for the Democrats, period, so that we can remain under the stronghold under the left of the left. All right. So I really want y'all to see this because they are in pain, man. They are hating every single moment of this right now because they know that they can't get out of it. They're trying to figure out the best way to replace Joe Biden with either a robot Joe Biden or, I don't know, a Newsom. And forbid we're going to have this daggone country looking like California. That ain't happening, bruh. Not at all. So I'm not here for that. Let's go ahead and check this out. Y'all let me know whatever y'all want me to know in the comments. These are the new polls ever since that debate. And again, man, I take no joy, none. I'm not elated that Joe Biden performed like that. Not at all. Does it give Trump an opportunity, a better opportunity of becoming a president? Yeah, more than likely, yeah. But that's only reason why I celebrate that is because the country was in better hands under his rule. That's it. That's it. The country was in better hands, and everything was a little bit more fair for everybody, not just one group of individuals. And they don't understand that the more they help is the more they're hurting. You got to allow people to get out there and get it on their own, to figure it out, and give them the resources to be able to do it. But don't coddle people. Don't hold their hands, and definitely don't pander just for a vote. And when they pander, they're lying. Like, they're promising the world, but they're not doing a damn thing. It's like they're the pimps and we the hoes. Not on my watch, Jack.
New reporting that President Biden's family is encouraging the president to stay in the 2024 race, defying calls for him to step aside following his alarming performance on Thursday's debate. The family is meeting at Camp David tonight. This is part of a planned gathering that was scheduled before the debate, we're told. And the message out of that meeting, at least for now, appears to be support for the president to continue pursuing a second presidential term. CNN's Priscilla Alvarez joins us now in Washington. Priscilla, what's your latest reporting at this hour?
Well, the president is huddling with his family following the immediate fallout of his debate performance on Thursday night, and Biden advisors are telling CNN that his family is encouraging him to stay in the race and supporting him and expressing that support, including Hunter Biden and the president's grandchildren. These advisors also saying that the conversations have been focused on how the family can help the president and not whether he should reconsider his candidacy. Of course, all of these conversations follow what has transpired since Thursday night's debate, as there have been calls for the president to withdraw from the race, including in editorial boards, as well as all corners of the Democratic Party. Now, the president himself has also been collecting data anecdotally and through public polling as he too tries to assess what folks are feeling across the party. And that has been a deep concern. Panic has certainly set in. Donors have been racked with anxiety over the president's poor performance on Thursday night. Now, the president, of course, did participate in a fundraising blitz over the weekend where he too conceded that Thursday night was not his best debate performance, but said that he would continue to fight and that he wanted to stay in the race. But the president and his campaign are certainly, Allison, under great scrutiny tonight. And what we know so far from the huddle that he had with his family at Camp David today is that he has the support of his family and their encouragement. Of course, that is no small thing. These are key players in President Biden's orbit and have been crucial in a lot of his decision making when it comes to running for president.
Priscilla, thank you very much for all of that reporting. We're joined now by CNN senior data reporter Harry Enton. He was here to run the numbers. So, Harry, do we have new poll numbers for President Biden post-debate?
We do. You know, CBS News YouGov conducted some polling post-debate. We can compare it to the pre-debate numbers. And the bottom line, Alice, it's not any good. It's not any good. Look at this. Voters who say that Biden has the mental health to be president. It was just 35% pre-debate. Look where it's dropped to now post-debate, 27%. How about that he should be running for president? It was 37% pre-debate. It's now 28%. I have never seen numbers this bad for an incumbent president during my lifetime. I mean, that mental health to be president, just 27%. You might say, okay, you know, that's low, but a lot of people thought Biden was too old back in 2020. These numbers look nothing like this back in 2020. These numbers were bad already. And the truth is, Allison, they have gotten just considerably worse, even in just a few days after that first presidential debate.
Harry, do we have polling yet that suggests that voters want a different candidate?
Yeah, this is the whole question, right? If it's not President Biden, then who could it be on the Democratic side? And the truth is, there are no easy answers. You know, I went back and looked at the polling versus Donald Trump for a bunch of different Democrats have been suggested. Gretchen Whitmer, Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris. Look at this. They all trail Donald Trump. So the idea here that we're somehow going to get this magic bullet, that there's somehow going to be some Democrat who can beat Donald Trump easily, I just don't see it in the numbers. At this particular point, If Joe Biden takes on Donald Trump, he's trailing. If there's another Democrat who runs against Donald Trump, they too are trailing. Perhaps you want to make the argument you bring in another Democrat who isn't as well known as Joe Biden, who has universal name recognition, and maybe they could change the numbers. But the fact is, any Democrat who entered the race right now, at least among those that are being suggested by a bunch of folks, they would all enter the race at this particular point as an underdog to former President Donald Trump.
But Harry, are those numbers old numbers or are those since the debate? I mean, maybe the conversation has changed.
Yeah, those are not numbers that have been taken since the debate, though I was looking at numbers that were post-debate. This takes into account an average, a long-term average, right? Because the key is I don't just want to rely upon one polling number. But even the limited polling data that we have post-debate suggests that none of those candidates on your screen, Gretchen Whitmer, Gavin Newsom, or Kamala Harris, any of those would be favored over Donald Trump. He leads against all of them, whether you look at the pre-debate numbers or the post-debate numbers. And of course, I like to look at an aggregate of numbers, so that's what I did. But the fact is, even if you just did post-debate, it really wouldn't look any different.
Do you have any precedent for how lopsided Thursday's debate was?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to take one solace if you are Joe Biden, the fact is first debate winner margins. Look, Donald Trump, more people by a 34-point margin said that Donald Trump beat Joe Biden in the debate. That's not much different than what Joe Biden's margin was over Donald Trump 4 years ago. It's actually larger than the Hillary Clinton margin that she had over Donald Trump. But you may remember that first debate back in 2012 where Barack Obama just did horribly. Mitt Romney won that debate in the voters' minds by 42 points. But of course, he didn't become president. Barack Obama was reelected. So I guess if you want to take a look on the one bright note is there is a history of someone losing the first debate as an incumbent and going on to win the presidency. And that was 12 years ago.
Okay, so you're saying that somebody, I mean, you have seen examples of somebody, coming from behind, basically, in that way after a poor debate.
Yeah, that is true. But here's the thing that I would note, which is that Joe Biden was trailing going into the first debate, okay? Barack Obama was leading. So I want to limit it down for you. Incumbents who were trailing going into the first debate and then lost that first debate. Well, how about Jimmy Carter lost that one debate he took on Ronald Reagan in '80. George H.W. Bush lost that first debate to both Ross Perot and Bill Clinton. And in 2020, Donald Trump lost that first debate to Joe Biden. Well, guess what, Allison? They all lost. They all lost. So the question is for Joe Biden, can he defy history, create new history, and be an incumbent who trailed going into that first debate and then won? Well, he's going to have to do it if he wants to get reelected in November.
Harry Anton, thank you very much for sharing all of these new numbers with us.
Now, as you can see, man, CNN are some great actors and actresses. And they just now took all that information in and they're not showing any. I'm surprised she didn't start crying. I'm dead serious, man. I'm surprised she didn't start crying after all of that news. But the one thing that gives them solace is the fact that President Trump could potentially go to prison. Well, I just now received some information that says he could potentially be exonerated. Nothing is going their way now. Nothing is going their way. And people are saying also that Joe Biden is not stepping down. He's probably not stepping down because he can't. He don't have what it takes. Like, he don't have the power in his legs to step down. He's not able to stand up long enough to step down. They made that man stand up for an hour and a half. And when it was time for him to step down off of 2 steps, he couldn't step down. Now they're saying he's not going to step down from the presidency. I'm not surprised, because the reason why he's in this situation right now is because of how stubborn he is, how stubborn the Democrat Party is. They can care less about the well-being of Joe Biden. They just want to win. That's it. No matter how much of Weekend at Bernie's they want to feed us, they just want him to win. That's why they put in all of that effort to get Trump arrested. But now it looked like the SCOTUS is clearing that, brother. Hold on one second. I just now received this information from, hold on. I'm about to get it. I'm about to get it for y'all. I just now received this information from Lisa Marie. Shout out to Lisa Marie for this information. I appreciate it. This video right here will show you guys the new information that just now came out. It says SCOTUS hearing on Trump's immunity claim could be felt for generations to come. All right. So I want to share this joint with you all. Y'all let me know whatever y'all want me to know about this. And don't forget, hang on, because we're going to have some fun too. We're going to do a little bit of Lefties Losing It. Y'all know I like to check out Lefties Losing It because it's just a fun channel, man. It's just a fun channel. And sometimes we need to have a laugh. Sometimes we need to have a chuckle or two. And if you need that mixed in with politics, this is the place to go. All right. There's other places too, but this is the place to go. All right. So let's check this joint out. Y'all let me know whatever y'all want me to know in the comments. Let's get to it.
First, breaking tonight, two hugely important court cases involving former President Trump and his ability to pursue another term in the Oval Office. The first ever criminal trial of a former president is continuing in New York, with more testimony from Trump's former ally kicking off the prosecution's case today. Meanwhile, here in Washington at the U.S. Supreme Court, Trump's attorneys tried to convince justices he has wide-ranging immunity from prosecution in an election interference case. We got Fox team coverage for you. Nate Foy is in New York with testimony from former tabloid publisher David Pecker. But we begin with Fox News chief legal correspondent, also anchor of Fox News Sunday, Shannon Bream. She's outside the Supreme Court tonight. Hi, Shannon.
Hello, Jillian. Well, this is a question the Supreme Court has never before answered, and it has an impact potentially far beyond
Thank
this
you for the
year's
super chat, D. James.
presidential election
Appreciate
and
it.
all the legal battles. Its impact could actually be felt for generations to come.
We're writing a rule for the ages.
It is a task for the history books. After nearly 3 hours of arguments, the 9 justices must now wrestle with whether a former president has some measure of criminal immunity for acts taken while he was in office. Which of the January 6th related allegations were the private actions of candidate Trump versus something officially within the purview of then President Trump? Many of the justices signaled they're thinking far beyond the case at hand and trying to gauge the real-life fallout of resolving those complex debates, including Justice Alito.
If an incumbent who loses a very close, hotly contested election knows that a real possibility after leaving office is not that the president is going to be able to go off into a peaceful retirement, but that the president may be criminally prosecuted by a bitter political opponent.
Alito asking whether that would lead the country into a cycle that ends up destabilizing democracy. While Justice Jackson worried about the implications of the court granting sweeping criminal immunity for all future presidents.
If the potential for criminal liability is taken off the table, wouldn't there be a significant risk that future presidents would be emboldened to commit crimes with abandon while they're in office?
Those questions also provoking other justices to ask about whether a president can actually pardon himself in advance in the waning days of his administration in anticipation of facing possible criminal charges after leaving office. Justice Kagan noted the framers did not include a presidential immunity clause in the Constitution.
They were reacting against a monarch who claimed to be above the law. Wasn't the whole point that the president was not a monarch and the president was not supposed to be above the law?
So if the court operates as it usually does, then tomorrow there will be a vote behind closed doors, a private one, and the justices then from there will begin the job of writing the opinions. And you know that votes can and do change during that process. Remember, they could also decide that there's still more to be done with this case at the lower level, kicking it back down for more action based on their guidance. And Jillian, of course, that could delay this whole thing for many more months.
All right, Shannon Bream wrapping up the day for us at the Supreme Court. Thank you. Shannon.
Now, as y'all just now saw, man, hold on, whoa. Hold on one second. So we just now saw that there's a possibility he can be released from all of these BS charges. Now, these charges are BS. They're only set up so that people can use the whole convicted felon. You're a convicted felon. You're convicted of the stuff that we made up and we put against you so that you couldn't run. And that's just, that's criminal itself. And could the charges be reversed? Like, if these are some trumped up charges, right? Could Trump potentially place charges on them for this? Please let me know, because y'all are very knowledgeable about these things. That's why I come to you all for it, man. I told y'all, bro. I feel like I'm obligated to at least approach these conversations with an open mind, be extremely objective about it, and to not only learn on the fly in front of you all, but I want other people who haven't had this information to learn as well. Because I hate having conversations with people and that's all that they can bring up. The fact that he's a convicted felon. Bruh, they made up all of these charges just so he won't whoop Joe Biden's ass. That's it. I don't get it. And I saw somebody in the comment section say, Van has a 25-year-old son. He looks 25 himself. I look 46. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really appreciate that. I definitely look 46. At least I feel it. At least I feel it. But these are some trumped up charges, and I hope that they reverse them. I hope that they get rid of them and let this man do what he got to do in order to make this country better, man. For real. They get hung up on the wrong stuff, and we all lose because of it. We need to be some adults. Y'all remember when they were going back and forth with the whole the what you call it the playing golf against one another, the golf handicaps, and then Trump said, let's not act like children up here. Let's not act like children. Because that's exactly what they started to act like. They started to sound like children going back and forth about their golf handicaps. But at least it was a little bit more lighthearted where they was having a good time. And of course, Joe Biden was lying. He don't know if he's a 6 handicap or if he's a 11 or if he's a 12. I don't even know if he remembered the last time he picked up a golf club at all. And that's not a knock on that dude, man. He's old. Old is the goal. I'm not trying to make fun of anybody's mental situation. You know what I mean? Not at all. At some point, hopefully we all get to that age. You know what I mean? Hopefully we're more mentally sharp than he is. But at the end of the day, I want us all to be old and healthy and be able to share time with our great grandkids and all that other stuff. Just enjoy life. But at that age and not being able to put together a damn sentence, he should not be the president. He won't even be able to be the manager of Burger King communicating like that. He can't even come in and work and make sure he walk around and wipe down tables or anything. He can't even be a worker at Burger King. He can't take my order. If I give my order to Joe Biden, I'm certain he will mess it up. I want a number 2 with a medium Coke, apple pie. That dude will mess it up. We will be there for 15 minutes while he take my daggone order. But we want him to be the president. Get the hell out of here. Now, that's how dumb people sound when they want to support this dude as the president. He's not there mentally. He cannot be the president. But I got something good for y'all, man. Y'all are really going to appreciate this right here. So this comes from Sky News Australia, and they're talking about that moment when he froze on stage while not while he was debating Trump, but while Jill Biden was trying to, I guess, support him and get him to she was trying to celebrate him for doing a good job against Trump. And the way that he was just standing there, he was looking like he was just y'all know a toddler, like when you have a baby and you look across the floor at the baby, you look across the room at the baby and they just standing there and they got like their tears, their eyes are just watering up and they just standing in one place and they're just looking at you. You know what they're doing. We all know what they're doing. When we see that baby across the daggone floor and they're just standing there looking at us and their eyes are watering, we all know what they're doing. They're taking a little me time where they're releasing themselves of the lunch that they just now had. That's what Joe Biden was doing, bro. Thank you so much for the super chat, big dog. I really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and jump into it, man. Y'all let me know whatever y'all want me to know, man. We getting to it today.
We've got to do more on Friday's debate. As you know, myself and Kristen Tate were predicting of course, these debates were going to be disastrous. So let's let Kristen, take it from here.
Thank you, Sergeant Fighter.
Yes, I mean, this could have been the most consequential presidential debate in at least modern political history. It's done for Joe Biden. I mean, it could not have been more of a disaster. During and after that debate, Chris, I received so many exasperated and panicked messages from liberals, some of whom I haven't even heard from a decade, stating that they were in complete shock over Biden's physical and mental state. And every single one of these Democrats told me that they think he needs to step down and be replaced with another candidate. And it's not just voters saying this, Chris.
Man, look at his face, bro. Look at his face. He's just so lost. He's stuck. He's stuck. And I have to read this super chat, guys. I apologize for breaking up this video, but I have to read this super chat. Sergeant Fighter says, I am a former sergeant in the Marines and former Fed that worked on the border for 17 years. And obviously he is in support of Trump. He said, keep doing what you are doing. Godspeed, my friend, and Semper Fi. Much love to you, my brother, and thank you so much for your service, man. I know you guys don't like hearing thank you for your service, or some of you don't like to hear thank you for your service, but I'm going to thank you any daggone way. Much love, brother, and thank you for the support.
It is the elite of the elite in the Democratic Party. The New York Times itself, the editorial board said that he needs to step down at this point. And it's not just them. The New Yorker, The Economist, many other publications have done the same. So the president was at Camp David this weekend. Apparently he met with his family to discuss what he will do moving forward. But I've read that his family, especially Hunter Biden, who has been a key player in his advisory, has said that he should stick it out. So I don't know what's going to happen if he refuses to leave and all the powers that be want him gone.
Look, it's extraordinary stuff. And I think, as you say, that editorial board of the New York Times calling for him to stand down as the president, to not seek a second term, is very telling. The New York Times is the Bible of the liberal left in the United States, of course. But I want to talk about a dynamic here that won't be surprising to our viewers, Kristen, but I think it's very important to the dynamic in the United States. And that is, while we've been highlighting for years all the classic examples of where Joe Biden is losing his way and stumbling and bumbling and showing that he's not up to the job, the media, the mainstream media in the US, hasn't really focused on that a lot. So people might have been surprised when they switched on the debate and watched, they saw stuff like this for perhaps the first time.
Making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. Excuse me, with.
This is, this was actually my favorite part of the debate. It wasn't that Joe Biden was messing up. It was Trump's face when he was like, okay, this dude has been talking for a minute. And I'm trying not to look at him. I'm trying to show some respect. I just want to look forward. And then he just like, bruh, he just looked at him like, man, what the hell is he talking about? Are y'all following along? Because I don't know what the hell he's talking about. This was pure comedy, bro. I'm talking about on Trump's part.
Make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. If we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden.
Completely lost, Kristen, completely confused and nowhere to hide and no media manipulation able to draw attention away from it.
Yes, I mean, to your point earlier, though, it's kind of mind-blowing to me how shocked Democrat voters are about Biden's poor mental and physical state. I mean, every single week, you and I are talking about some new mortifying incident exposing the fact that he's basically been a houseplant for the last few years. But I guess, so many liberals, they just blindly believe whatever the media tells them. And the media and the Democrats, they thought that they could control reality by controlling the narrative. They do this with everything. They do this with the open border, which they tell us is secure. They do it with our cities, where they tell us crime is actually totally under control. And they were doing it with Joe Biden, telling us he's totally with it. He's the smartest guy in the room. Green John Peer gets up there at the podium and tells us, oh, he's never been sharper. But every once in a while, Chris, reality pokes through and exposes the truth. And in this case, it has completely shattered their faux narrative about Joe Biden. So now the entire establishment on the Democrat side is panicked and they don't know what to do.
Absolutely. Now, I think one of the aspects of the debate that hasn't got enough attention is that Donald Trump was a little bit more disciplined than we're used to seeing him. I mean, it was a weird debate in many ways. There's lots of Trumpisms in there,
true.
But he didn't go over the top. And that allowed him to have that contrast, the focus to fall onto Joe Biden. And I want to just play this clip because this just showed the gentlest little niggle where Donald Trump was pointing out to the whole audience, the whole of the US and indeed the free world, what was going on here.
And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we can do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Yeah, it was pretty gentle. It was pretty telling. And it was a good performance from Trump, wasn't it, Kristen?
Yes, very restrained. He
Wow.
did have some great moments in there, but overall kind of a boring debate performance. But that was what was so key about it. If this election is a referendum on Trump, Trump loses. If it's a referendum on Joe Biden, Biden loses. And because we're all talking about Joe Biden, it's kind of becoming a referendum on him. Nobody's really talking about Trump. He was very restrained, and he kind of let Joe Biden expose himself for how weak he is, both physically and mentally.
Well, let's go back to the ramifications from all this. And first up, I want to show what Joe Biden had to say about the debate the following day. This is pretty telling too.
I don't walk as easy as I used to. I don't speak as smoothly as I used to. I don't debate as well as I used to. But I know what I do know. I know how to tell the truth.
Sucker move. That's a sucker move. I don't even know why they will put that in the speech. I don't walk as well as I used to. I don't speak as well as I used to. I don't know how to hold my bowels as well as I used to. Come on, bro. I bet you just as racist as you used to. You probably just don't remember it. The only reason why I voted for Biden is because he's a Democrat. Only reason why I voted for Biden is because he's a Democrat and he was the VP of Barack Obama. I thought that the Democrats was for black people. That's got to be the biggest lie ever sold. And that narrative needs to be broken up. I promise you, man, that narrative needs to, at least let's discuss it ad nauseum. If you're one of them people out there that just believe that the Democrats is the party for black people, bruh, move away from that. Let's have a conversation, because I had that same thought process. But now this brother is, they like, man, just go ahead and like let the people know that you're old and that you accept that, but you tell the truth. Bruh, tell the truth about what? Y'all are the party of debauchery. Y'all are the party that's completely against the word of God. Now, I'm not trying to say that everybody should be a Christian. I'm not a perfect Christian myself. Not at all. But I'm striving. I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be as godlike as possible. But that party right there, no, anything that's completely against God and opposite of Christ, let's push it. Let's do it. Yeah, you want to be this? Yeah, and I'm not going to name anything specific because I don't want to get flagged on this live stream. But y'all know what I'm talking about. But now they got it in his speech. Bruh, you looked horrible. You sounded horrible. You're not thinking properly. You cannot run this country like that. You can't run a family like that. Somebody else is running it for you. You should have added that to your speech. Who's been running this country for the last 3.5 years? You should have added that to your speech. That would have been appreciated. That would have been more honest, actually. The Democratic Party has been lying to people for the longest, acting as if everything we've been seeing and hearing has been cheap fakes. What we just now saw with Biden on the stage, that was a cheap fake. Y'all need to see this one more time. Hold on one second. Just this, because this blurb says a lot about who he is. It's denial. This is Weekend at Bernie's. Somebody might as well have their hand up the back of his jacket and talking for him, like moving little strings. You know, like I don't know if y'all ever been to any of those any plays, any puppet plays or anything like that at in New York, they're very entertaining. They're extremely entertaining, where somebody's controlling the puppet strings and telling them what to say, and it looks real, and it's exciting just to be there. Well, it's not entertaining when you're seeing your president do it, because Putin and those guys are seeing this. They're seeing this. Other world leaders are looking at this like, whoa, yes, please let him win again. Please let him win again. Rabbit ears. It's ridiculous. Watch this, man.
I don't walk as easy as I used to. I don't speak as smoothly as I used to. I don't debate as well as I used to. But I know what I do know. I know how to tell the truth.
Yeah, there you go. The president basically having to admit his own problems. He says he knows what he does know, which is probably not difficult because it's not looking like very much these days. And then we had the humiliation, really, of seeing Joe Biden, his wife, having to speak for him. Have a look.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the
Yeah, it's a bad look, isn't it, Kristen? And she's revving up the crowd, and he's just sort of standing there frozen with his mouth agape.
That was embarrassing, bro. You did everything you were supposed to do. You answered all the questions. Yes, you did. You the president. You with the president. Pick-a-boo. Do you see me? Then you won't see me. No, I don't see you. Where you at, Jill? Where you at, Jill? There you are, pick-a-boo. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You the president. I'm the president. You the president. I want to pick my president. Don't nobody want that as no damn president, bruh. Let me ask you this. What do you think will happen if you allowed President Biden to cook a meal inside of his home? That mofo will burn the hell down is what will happen. He will forget that there's a fire going on. Will you let him watch your child? Hell no. Would you let him drive a vehicle? Hell no. What would you let him do by himself? What would you let Joe Biden do by himself? Bruh, like, you won't let him swim by himself. He'll drown. The brother is old and destitute. I'm sorry to say it, but it is what it is. And other world leaders see this, and it's not looking good on us. That's our leader. That dude is our leader. That dude is our leader, bro. That brother that y'all just now saw is our leader. Hold on one second. We got one more. Hold on one second. I promised y'all something, and listen. I got you. I got you. Hold on one second. I said I was gonna do some Rita, and we're gonna do some Rita. All right. Hold on one second. This right here is just ridiculous, though, man. I don't know. This whole thing is upset. It's unsettling. It's unsettling. Shout out to Sky News Australia, who are outworking everyone. They are kicking butt. They are working. They are putting that information out there for real. All right. So we got this one right here. Let's go ahead and check it out. All right. This is right here. Rita is talking about how MSNBC and the people on the left are finally accepting the fact that we know what they've been hiding. And also, I want to say, Kryptonian, thank you so much for your super chat. I really appreciate it. It reads, Trump immunity case. Supreme Court rules ex-presidents have substantial protection from prosecution. Yeah, we just now played a little bit of that. I don't know if you were here, but thank you so much for pulling up. Thank you for reiterating that fact. And thank you so much for the super chat as well. Everyone, if you have not liked this video yet, please like it. If you haven't shared this inside of your Facebook group or on LinkedIn or X or anything like that, please do so. Hit that share button below the video, copy the link, and go share this bad boy. We got one more video, and this is the most fun one. So we're going to go out with a bang. All right? Y'all ready? Let's get to it. This is wild, man. God bless America. God bless our president. Watch over him, man. Please watch over him.
Time now to check in on lefties losing it in the media post that presidential debate, the one which made it impossible for them to hide their dude's cognitive decline. Yeah, after this mess, it's hard to pretend talk of Biden's befuddled state is some sort of right-wing conspiracy or due to out-of-context videos.
Move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we can do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump? I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
There were a lot of startling moments in this debate, including Biden's 15 lies and regurgitations of debunked myths, from the fine people lie to suckers and losers lie. But one moment that hasn't got the coverage it deserves is Biden's bizarro claim that women in America are being raped by their in-laws and their sisters.
Look, there's so many young women who have been, including a young woman who just was murdered, and he went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant coming in. They talk about that, but here's the deal: there's a lot of young women who are being raped by their in-laws, by their spouses, brothers and sisters, it's just ridiculous, and they can do nothing about it. And they try to arrest them when they cross state lines.
Thank you. There's a lot of young women being raped by their in-laws and brothers and sisters, and they try to arrest them when they cross state lines. He just said that. Whatever concoction of drugs they had him on, it did not work as planned.
When he was talking about that, that whole rant was about, they was talking about abortion. And he was trying to make a point that if a woman is victimized, she should be able to receive an abortion if that happened, if she were to get pregnant or something like that. That's what he was trying to communicate. He was also trying to debunk Trump in saying that a lot of the bad characters that were coming across the border under Joe Biden's watch were doing that to young ladies. So what happened at the park with the young lady who was raped and unalived by two illegal immigrants that they refuse to call illegal immigrants. They only want to call them undoctrinated citizens, undoctrinated humans. I don't know what the hell they want to call them. They are illegal immigrants because they are immigrants who are trying to come over into our country illegally. So it actually says what it is in the write-up. So you ain't even got to go too far to try to stretch it. But he completely fouled that up. But what he also was doing, he was taking up for the illegals. He was saying that, yeah, some of our women are being molested and murdered by them, but it's not a big deal. That's pretty much what he was saying. He was like, it's not big enough deal for us to always talk about it. Joe Biden, yes, it is. It's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. And the fact that he just dismissed it like that don't just come from that don't come from no place. That comes from the fact that the majority of people on the left, they dismiss it. They act like it does not exist. So that's something y'all need to pay attention to, man.
And he was thoroughly confused, not just when he gave what should have been well-rehearsed answers, but also when Trump was talking.
From prisons, people that are from mental institutions, insane asylum, terrorists. We have the largest number of terrorists coming into our country right now. All terrorists, all over the world, not just in South America, all over the world. They come from the Middle East, everywhere. All over the world, they're pouring in. And this guy just left it open. And he didn't need legislation because I didn't have legislation. I said, close the border. We had the safest border in history. In that final couple of months of my presidency, we had, according to Border Patrol, who is great, and by the way, who endorsed me for president, but I won't say that, but they endorsed me for president. Brandon, just speak to him. But look.
Did he call him Brandon? Bro, he called him Brandon. Trump cold, bruh. Trump is cold. He called
Brandon, just speak to them. I just love Trump casually dropping a Brandon in the debate. And post-debate, the very folk who are regularly featured on this segment for losing it on their various programs were waking up to the reality that Biden's cognitive decline could no longer be hidden from their audience. Here's one of those lefties losing it, MSNBC's Joy Reid.
I, too, was on the phone throughout much of the debate with Obama world people, with Democrats, with people who are political operatives, with campaign operatives. My phone really never stopped buzzing throughout. And the universal reaction was somewhere approaching panic. The people who were texting with me were very concerned about President Biden seeming extremely feeble, seeming extremely weak. And
the lefties losing it were on just about every station and every online program and podcast, including the Young Turks.
This is an epic disaster. I see people online saying, well, okay, that answer wasn't so bad. No, it doesn't. Any particular answer doesn't matter at all. This thing is over. He looks like he's barely surviving. I don't mean the debate, I mean life. And so there's no person that has a single brain cell left in their head who thinks that Joe Biden is the best candidate to take on Donald Trump. And I will bet them any amount of money that Joe Biden's going to lose this election if he's the candidate. It's a guaranteed loss. You're telling me this is the most important election of our lifetimes? You're telling me that democracy's on the line, and you're going to put on a guy who can't even talk, who can't even sit there and look normal. This thing's a bloodbath. He's going to get annihilated. That is, okay, now the Democrats have to decide. Are they happy to lose? Are they willing to lose? Because this is a guaranteed loss.
This is so much worse than my worst nightmares of what it could be like in every way.
Oh, it's so fun. And there were more lefty tears on CNN.
He's doing the best that he can, but he had a test to meet tonight to restore confidence of the country and of the base, and he failed to do that. And I think there's a lot of people who are going to want to see him consider taking a different course now. We're still far from our convention, and there is time for this party to figure out a different way forward if he will allow us to do that.
Yeah, about that. I don't think Jill's going to allow it. She's the one who seems to be calling the shots, and she's telling Joe he did great.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the... And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do?
Whoop Joe Biden's ass. That's what Trump did. He whooped Joe Biden's ass. I'm sorry. Was that the wrong answer? I'm sorry. Let me let her say it the right way. Okay.
He's telling Joe he did great.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the... And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do?
Whoop his ass. Oh man, this is embarrassing, bro. It's embarrassing. This is... Oh my gracious. You talking about elder abuse. If you're going to arrest Trump for anything, you got to arrest him for elder abuse because he whooped Joe Biden's ass. and you got to arrest everybody on MSNBC, everybody on CNN. Jill, Dr. Jill, yeah, you are culpable too. Okay, I'm gonna let her speak this last time. I'm gonna play it. I promise you, I'm not gonna say anything. Let her do her thing. All right.
She's telling Joe he did great.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do?
Whoop your husband's ass. That's what he did. Sorry, Jill. That's what he did because your husband lied too. Politicians lie. Your husband is one. Trump is one. They spin things from time to time. But guess what? Who will make a better president? What did Trump do? He had a better 4 years as president. No, that's not the answer, guys. What did Trump do? He struck fear into other leaders around the world and made sure that there weren't any wars. Oh no. Okay. All right. What did Trump do? He made sure that gas prices and the economy was better when he was the president. I mean, we can go on and on and on. We can play this game all day, son. We can play this game all day. You know what I mean? Here's the thing. Okay, let's go through this one more time, and we're gonna hear what Trump did according to Jill.
Telling Joe he did great.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do?
Walk down the steps by himself without any help, anyone holding his arm, and he didn't pee on himself. What did Trump do? He actually acted like and showed us that he was mentally capable of being the president. That's what he did. That's why they didn't invite me, because I would have been like, okay, I got a whole list for you. So, all right. And he did this. And what else? We got some more stuff over here. I would have been naming things, bro. What did Trump do? He whooped your husband's ass. At any event, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been absolutely phenomenal, per usual. I appreciate you guys inside of the comment sections, communicating with one another respectfully. Thank you so much to my blues, all of my mods. Thank you. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you to everyone who submitted a super chat. You didn't have to go above and beyond like you did, but you did, and I appreciate that. For everybody that's considering starting a YouTube channel and you need some help, reach out to me with the word coach, and I will give you as much game as I can in the 30 minutes that we speak. But I also will tell you about my coaching group and my VIP coaching as well, where we do a lot for you and make it simple for you. But the email is scrolling across the bottom of my video. Reach out to me just with the word coach. And if you want to tell me what the name of your channel is, what you need help with, and all those other things, that would be absolutely phenomenal. And I'll make sure I get to you. All right. All right. So I got some people pulling up now. Y'all take it easy. This was a dope live stream. Make sure y'all tell people about my live stream so that when I go live again, they can pull up and we can have a good time. Y'all had so much fun inside the comments, and from reading your comments, I also had fun. Love y'all. See y'all on the flip flop. Peace. And if I missed anybody, my bad. Lisa Marie, Catalia, B, Big Craig, I don't know, Angel. Thank y'all so much for everything, guys. Y'all are absolutely dope. Don't forget me, guys. Reach out with the word coach so we can get on to this YouTube, your YouTube journey. Let Van help you. All right. Let me help you out.